7.30pm's.
On behalf of the Denby Dale Amateur Society, calling members and friends together for this Thursday. Digital mad. Not too many of us on the call so far, but it seems to be growing by the minute there. First of all, I'll just go to the top of the list. And Paul's not too long on the moment, and I'll just give you the chance, Paul, to come in now. I don't know whether you want to join us or not. G0TVB in the group M0AEG.
M0ROL.
Nothing heard from Paul on either of his connections. He must have a couple of dongles plugged in there. So, as far as tonight's concerned, I'm going to ignore G0TVB. So, on to you, Keith in Scotland. GM4JKZ in the group, M0AEG. Hope all is well with you, Keith. M0AUG in the group, GM4JKZ. Yes, good evening, Jeff. And, not a great deal to add this week, to be quite honest. Weather-wise, it's been up and down. It was quite sunny yesterday. We had quite a good output from our solar panels, which was good. I think our download was only something like 0.39 of a kilowatt from the grid, which is good. About 18 degrees outside at the moment, but I'm looking forward to summer coming. The only two things I've been playing with, really radio-wise, is I've taken a new batch of lipo cells in, so I've been received today from China a couple more battery management system board and a voltmeter ammeter combined module. So I can see what I'm charging at and the voltage I'm charging at to say blowing them up, for example. And I've got I think I'm putting 3 cells into my hotspots to make them self-sufficient to see how they go, but I should be doing one to start with. And I did get handset working last week. I told Jeff over in Belgium I actually had to look at the manual, and I wasn't saving the file as an HTML. On one side, I did that, of course, I could modify the time frame to -1 and -2 hours for those that are in the know. Okay, so with that, back to the M0AUG with the group PM48KZ. GM1. JK, that's in the group. M0AUG returning. Yeah, fine on that, Keith, and I already had an email from Dave G607 this evening. He's not going to be able to join us because he got power outages where he is. I think he's told you to send that, Andrew, and I'll be coming out to you there. Next on the group is going to be Nick. D4IWO in the group, M0AUG. Good evening, Nick.
Yeah, good evening, Jeff, and everyone else on the net tonight. And of course, a big good evening to those of us who are watching on YouTube. And hope you enjoy the net this evening. Yeah, it seems to have been a hellishly busy week radio-wise, hasn't it? With the talk on Tuesday night from John G4IRN about the Flannan Island de-expedition. And then on Wednesday, what I thought was an absolutely superb presentation by David Fry, the biographer of the book on Gerald Marquez, G4JSZ. The detailed information that he provided was just excellent. And it was nice that he stayed behind afterwards to chat to those people that were left in the room as well. Very, very nice guy. As of course is John G4 IRN, who's going up to Flannan Island. And a group of us from the club had a meeting on Tuesday night with Nobby in the morning over Zoom to sort out the details for the HF comms that we're going to be providing from Denby Dale to the guys on the D expedition. And then just to cap it all, because the weather was decent, as people will know from my posting on the WhatsApp group, I decided to go out for a photo activation on the Pennine Bridleway and spent 3.5 very happy hours, even if slightly uncomfortable, sitting on the rocky ground overlooking the Pennine Bridleway, and made a fair number of contacts, 3 continents, about 16 countries, I think. And of course, the final QSO of the day had to be Jeff ON8NT. So Jeff, well done for getting in the log again. Back to you, Jeff. M0 AUG in the group from G4IWO.
New age returning is fine and I'm making 2 excellent talks during this week, and it's been a bit of a struggle to get in to support them because we only come back on Monday there, so we've only just been away for a few days. And any further, thanks very much for Jeff talking about Great November Tango for taking the group last Thursday. Much appreciated, Jeff. And we went away for a few days because you truly had a significant birthday, but we'll leave it at that. Rachel was on earlier on, but I know she's disconnected now, so I won't bother calling in because she may be watching on YouTube. Over to you then, Jeff. Oscar November 8, November Tango in the group. M0 AUG. Thanks again, Jeff.
O.
Mike 0 AUG, the group. ON8 November Tango. A very good evening to you, Jeff. No problem at all. Was my pleasure. And also a very good evening to everyone on YouTube. I hope I will appear on the dashboard. Yes, there I am on the dashboard. It's always a moment of uncertainty, so to say. Yeah, okay, well, we have 27 degrees. Yeah, 27 degrees tomorrow, 30. On Saturday, 32 degrees. And then in the evening, Saturday evening, we will get some thunder and lightning, some light show free of charge. So we are in the summer here. Yeah, we are in the summer since today. So nice weather. We went out today. We enjoyed a little bit, and I hope you enjoyed your holiday, Jeff. I hope you really had a good time there. Okay, I leave the news a little bit for the next over. So I give it back to you, Mike 0 AUG, the group of 8 November Tango.
Well, 8 November Tango in the group, M0 AUG returning. Yes, thanks for that, Jeff. And we had a good few days away. Well, about 5 days away, and obviously part of it was celebrating my birthday, but also was giving Maureen a bit of a break after the 2 boat surgery she got this year. And it's done a world of good for her. And the 2 meetings this week were good. It's a bit of pressure to do 3 meetings consecutively in a week, but we'll get there, not a problem at all. I noticed we've not got anything from Mike and Adriana at the moment on there, and I noticed that Mike was on his own on the web last night on Zoom call. So no point all with them. Over to you there, Andrew. M0 RL in the group. M0 AUG.
M0 AUG in the group. M0 RL. Yeah, good evening, and everyone on the net tonight on YouTube.
I have to say, down here in sunny Minehead, it's been a glorious day, and slightly cooler tomorrow, but wall to wall, blue sky, and sunshine. And keeping with Keith's report on solar panels, we have generated 30 kilowatts today, and yesterday was 29, and our panels are east facing, so we've done quite well. But it has been a little bit too hot. I had intended to go out on Dunkery Beacon and like Nick do some poaching and water solar activation as well, but I felt being stuck out in the on the top of Dunkery in the sunshine in the heat for both the dog and myself, and we are, and I don't know what it's like at your way, but we just haven't. We've got so many ticks over here. Exmoor there's been a warning put out by the Exmoor National Park about the number of ticks, and I suppose the dog came back with probably a dozen on him, which I had to get off, as well as the ones I missed that's probably going to bite him and then be killed with the treatment is on. So it's not very pleasant. Sat down on the top of the hill at the moment, and I think at any minute you're going to get some ticks to crawl over you. So maybe tomorrow it's going to be cooler. I can try a different location. But anyway, that's all for me on the solar. Jeff, I managed to at least get my internet sorted out. We moved from our normal sort of slow fibre to full fibre into the house, and 500 megabits per second. And BT has shipped out three routers. Only one of them arrived, so that's the one that's up and running at the moment. The order seems to be going through. Okay, so anyway, back to you, Jeff. M0 AUT in the group. M0 ROL.
M0 ROL in the group. M0 AUT turning us fine on that under, and we were looking to upgrade to full fibre last year, but to be honest, the contractor, and it wasn't the BT company Openreach who were going to do it. The contractors wanted to drill holes all over the place where I wasn't prepared to have them, so we told them to go away, and that was that. So that's where we are. I'll have to do it eventually, but not firmly for the time being. So I hope Mike and Adriana are okay. I noticed that last night Mike was on the call on his own, and I know Adriana had not been so well. So that's on this evening, and I hope all is well with it too. Okay, back up to the top of the list there. DM4JKZ in the group, M0AG.
M0AG in the group. Quite small tonight, I must admit, from DM4JKZ. Yeah, fine there, Jeff. Yeah, the talk I forgot to mention those. I thought they were brilliant. I've ordered my book from David today, so hopefully that'll be with me probably by the latest Monday or Tuesday, so that'll be a good read for me. And yeah, absolutely fascinating. I've spent a few visits to Bottom Harbour, famous place where if you leave your car parked on the low tide level, you can come back and paddle out to your car. Quite interesting. But yeah, it's good to see a photograph of the sundial. Yeah, when I saw it down there at the time, it was in the shade, so that was good to see. What's the other point I've got down here? Oh yeah, I did listen out for you, Nick, yesterday. I think it was yesterday, yeah. But I had some static up here. I tried both antennas, but I just couldn't hear a thing. In fact, both bats up here were virtually dead, so at the time you were out. So I thought I wouldn't bother putting the radio on last night either after the talk. So there we go on that one. And Andrew, yeah, ticks are a nightmare. We've got sheep all around us up here, so we only walk the dogs down the road and try and keep them away from the grass or the long grass on the road edges. But we do take them out to a place called Hairstone, which is a sort of wooded area where they can fundamentally, there's nothing around really. There's cattle in one field, which is 400-500 yards away. But they still do get ticks. The little one, they've got a couple on him. One on the top of his eyelid last week, and Orla, she had one on her nose. Otherwise, we're quite lucky. Drawback is Orla is a ground sniffer, and he's copying her. That's the problem. So there we go. But on the solar power, Andrew, yeah, we've good production up here. Of course, we can fully charge our batteries as well. So quite pleased about that. Of course, the initial layout quite expensive. Back to you, Jeff. How you do the group PM4JKZ?
GM4JKZ in the group 0AG10. Back to you briefly there, Keith. I'm not sure where Northam Harbour is, where you're referring to, please.
From GM4JKZ. It wasn't what happened. It's where the sundial is, P2NM, where his grave is going.
Right, okay, fine for that, thanks, Keith. Wasn't quite sure. Thought we'd just check. Over to you then, KG4IWO in the group M0AUG.
M0AUG in the group from G4IWO. Yeah, okay. First of all, Jeff, Mike and Adrienne did say to me on Tuesday that they had their niece staying with them. And I know that on Tuesday, Adriana had to take her niece back to her sister's that evening, and they were involved in something else last night. And when I spoke to Mike, I had quite a long chat with Mike after the Zoom meeting the previous night. He wasn't 100% certain they were going to be able to make it tonight, so they're both well and fine. On the YouTube channel, good evening to Rachel, who's listening there now. Nice to see you here, Rachel. And I just wanted to mention, because people will find it, I think, quite interesting. I've posted on the YouTube channel today 3 videos. One of them is the audio that Paul sent me a couple of weeks ago that he had recorded on his IC705 on 2 meters FM when he was on the top of Black Hill. And I have to say, the quality of the audio stream is superb. It's you know, the quality of the and the power of the transmissions coming through is a real credit to the engineering of the ICOM 705 radio. It is a lovely bit of kit. But if you haven't listened to it, obviously don't listen to it all unless you're engaged in hearing who the people are calling in. But just have a listen to the quality of the transmission and, of course, of the recording on the ICOM rig there. So that's very good indeed. Yeah, as to the conditions yesterday were pretty poor, and all the more reason, I think, Keith, why in our preparations for trying to provide backup HF comms for the guys going to Flannan Island next month is that we've got, you know, a strategically placed group of radio hams from yourself, Keith, on the Scottish borders, right the way down to Phil down in Loughborough, who all can listen in, and hopefully one of us will be able to hear the Flannan Islands de-expedition and take whatever information we need to get from them. But yeah, you're quite right. Conditions were not good yesterday, and the general background noise level, the QRN, was very, very high on all the bands that I went on yesterday. So back to you, Jeff. M0AUG in the group G4IWO.
All right, we're in the group M0AUG telling you, fine up, and they can thanks for the update on Mike down there. And I thought it was unusual. One of the hospital this evening, and I know that it was just Mike who attended the Zoom meeting last night. But yeah, those are the presentations absolutely superb this week on the Flannan Islands, and also the Gerald Matthews presentation there. And good evening to Rachel, and I know you logged on for the net earlier on, and then obviously you went off and came onto YouTube, so glad you with us in any event, whichever, doesn't really matter. And I don't know who else is on there. I think they did say there were 4 users on last time I checked, but maybe that's altered it all. But I couldn't see any other call signs or anybody else I knew other than Rachel there. So that's okay. Yeah, fine on that, Jeff, on taking the net last week, and I really did appreciate it. We thoroughly enjoyed the time away, and although I wasn't able to join in the net on the Thursday evening because the accommodation didn't warrant that for getting into the Wi-Fi at the right time, I took all the gear with me, but it just wasn't possible to come in and join the net there. And thanks to Nick on the observations of the pilot scheme, and obviously it's good that you and the others can take part in helping the people to get the points to these old manner. Over to you then, Jeff, Oscar November 8, November Tango in the group, 0 AUG.
M0 AUG, the group 08 November Tango. Yeah, first of all, a very good evening to Rachel on YouTube and to everyone else on YouTube. Very nice that you can follow us, Rachel. And yesterday and Tuesday and Wednesday, very excellent meetings, I think. But I especially like the historical one. I'm really fascinating person. I really was fascinated by the life and the achievements that he made. To be, to be a little bit in competition with the BBC and the post office, really impressive. But plus all the challenges that he managed to reach, really impressive story, and very well brought by David. It was an excellent talk. Okay, yeah. Well, and okay, Pete, about the ham dash, and that you managed to change the time. I think it's quite easy actually. And with a simple text editor, of course, don't forget to save it because otherwise nothing changed. Okay, I'm very, very happy to work you, Nick, yesterday under very, very difficult conditions because you were down in the noise and then coming up over the noise. And I called you several times actually, but I just called you the last time on the right moment, I think, when the signal was coming up. So you also were going up and down, Nick. So, but we managed, and that's brilliant. Condition-wise, I observed during the last couple of days, especially in the evening, that the East Coast, not much Americans. That's on 70 meters, which is my preferred band in the evening. On 70 meters, not much Americans, but quite some Japanese. So I worked quite some Japanese in the evening, but not that much Americans, which is good because I really need more Japanese days with a lot. Absolutely. So today I just put my 6-meter vertical, my V2000 diamond back up because during the past couple of days we had rain and thunderstorm and wind, so I put it down for precautions reasons. But I just put it up this afternoon when I came home, and I worked a whole bunch of stations on 6 meters. The band is wide open. I worked into Lebanon, into Kazakhstan. I tried Russia because I think Russia is not that active on 6 meters, which is strange. Maybe they don't have permission. Maybe not all the classes of license have permission to use 6 meters. I saw 2 stations this evening, which is quite rare. So I tried to work them, but didn't manage. Anyway, probably the next time. Okay, back to you, Jeff. My 0 AUG, the group with 8 November Tango.
Tango in the group M0 AUG doing, yeah, fine and all that, Jeff, and you certainly got some good stations that you're able to work on that one. I didn't realize that on the road earlier on today that you said I've not had much time with I've been away for a few days and catching up with a few things and off employment and this type of thing. And it wasn't we do to catch up with it really. I noticed that Bob's joined as well, so I'll bring you in after Andrew there, Bob. I'm looking forward to the talk next week, I shall say, because in the TX Factor video, they used to have a competition, and I'll have to tell you that I won the draw this last time on the 31, the latest one, but on the previous one, number 30. And one of the boxes I received as a result of winning their draw was the antenna notebook. So it's very interesting to hear the talk next Big Wednesday that week. Right, over to you there, Andrew. M0RL in the group, M0AG.
M0AG in the group, M0RL. But I have to say, as every week I'm quite envious of how much radio that a lot of you do. I keep turning the radio on, admittedly during the day, and the bands are just wiped out. I ought to go on in the late evening, I think, as Jeff and I had a chat last week when I went to get on, but there's always seems things to be done in the evening. But I must get out and work portable, I think. But as Nick was saying, and he said the bands were very noisy when he was out. So it's just, we all look forward to the sunspot cycles, and when they come, I think we're all been a little bit disappointed this time around. But maybe it's just me in the noisy area that I live in Minehead on that one. But I hope you had a good holiday, Jeff, last week. I eventually managed to get on, having reconfigured my open spot to a different access point. And that seemed to work with fibre coming in. I have to say the open reach engineer turned up, and he looked at the place and was testing, and now he was talking about having the wire in the guttering going around the property to try and get in, but that would have been a non-starter. So I got him to run it into the Lockyer bungalow, so it's not quite so bad. So there was already a conduit into the lock from the old copper that came in, and he said, "Oh, I can't put it in the lock." And I said, "Why not?" He said, "Where's it going to go to the lock?" I said, "Well, you can go into this room. I can't drill holes in ceilings or floors." So anyway, I got the drill out and drilled a hole and told him exactly where he had to run the cable, and we eventually managed to get it in. But actually meant that where I normally have my radio, the wireless router was actually only a few feet away, and I think that was probably overpowering the open spot, and that's why it wouldn't connect. So I got a mess in the house, and that meant that I then managed to log into another unit in the lounge. So yeah, bit of a palaver, but at least we got there. So anyway, back to you, M0AG in the group, M0RL.
RL in the group, M0AG returning. You're okay, fine on that, Andrew. Now, my experience was when they came along, and I must admit, when I said I was taking the fibre, the people in the sales desk said, if you've got any queries, just see with the engineers before they start, and if you're not happy about it, send them back. And that's what exactly what I did. They asked them, they were contractors, they weren't actually open reach or contractors working for open reach or PT, whoever it is it be. And they wanted to be drilling holes all over the place, the box on the outside, and drilling through places that I didn't want to drill through and everything else. So in the end, I said, look, forget it, guys, take all the kit up, and that was the end of that. So we'll worry about that further down the line. It's not coming out straight away, so we've got time to think about it. And, it might well be good and everything else, but I'm certain there's a very huge 24 longer behind you there, Andrew. Fine on your home spot this week, there's no problem at all on that, and He had some issues last week, but the creek's absolutely fine. When he started off this meeting, there seemed to be one or two dropouts, but I must say, whatever it is he's connected to, it was working okay on the laptop. So, obviously, the US and November 4 X-ray Alpha Tango. Good evening there, Robin, and good to hear you, and congratulations on your 900 contacts for the Boat Hunter Award. Over to you.
M0AUG with the group and 4XAT, and good evening to everyone on the net. Sorry I'm a bit late. Henry is in the midst of training someone in CW at 20 words a minute, and they need me to give the guy a test to see if I could read him and if he could copy me, and that's M7CLG, and he's doing a fabulous job there. And thank you for the congrats on the 900, the 908. But let me qualify that. I'm 3,175 on the list. That's how far down I am on the list with 900 contacts. It's unbelievable. Of course, I only started in October working on this, where some people probably started back in 2016 or 17 when Parks on the Air first began. So I guess I can't complain too much. But when I look at the number of parks that some of them have, like over 10,000 parks, it's just unbelievable. It keeps me off the street. And I spend a lot more time, I guess, in the radio room. However, more recently, most of the work has been very early morning and at night, just before I close down. The atmospheric just isn't holding up. That D-layer is really bad in the daytime here. And recently, we have had a bit of a breakdown, a breakthrough. I'd like to see it more. With that, back to you, Jeff, and thanks for picking me up. M0AUG, lose my voice here, and 4XAT.
And 4XAT in the group M0AG, yes, fine, Matt, Bob, and I think you've got far more activity over in the US than we have at the moment in the UK. Although one of the guys who's in another club that I'm a member of, Richard, the Oldham Amateur Radio Club, guy called Alan, he's now very active on the boat side, and he's having some good contacts there. I don't just for Alan's call sign, just a hand, but I'll try and find it out for you there for next week there, Bob. And then if you do get in contact with Alan, that's absolutely fine. He's very, very much into filter and butter. And yeah, so maybe he's taking on within the old club as well. So we'll see what we got from there. Okay. Back up to the top again, Ian. 48 guys in the group. M0AUG.
M0AUG in the group, GM48KZ, and very good evening to Bob there over in the States. Yeah, 3,000 plus. That may be a bit demoralising, but keep that involved and you'll work your way up the list there for sure. And yeah, Jeff, thanks for reminding me about the X Factor. I get a note of it in the latest Radcom, I think. So I must have a look at that later on tonight. And congratulations on being a winner on the second one. I won one of the Christmas quizzes with Martin Lynch, who's got a mobile with them. It's pretty good antenna, I must admit. It's on the car now, and it's doing me proud. The band, it's interesting, 15 metres up here just now, and wide open over into China and Cambodia and Japan. Nothing in the States, and then within about 3 minutes, nothing in the West, and all the stations in the West Coast of the USA were coming up. And looking at it on SDA, they use that measure. look at the grid tracker at the moment. It's reporting that 6 meters is the highest population, with 48 stations that are recorded on it. So I think obviously not up here. I don't know where the main receive unit is, but I've only got 3 pins. One of those I think is me. And there we go. Okay, Andrew, mesh systems. Yeah, another man like me. I'm running a mesh system here, which is pretty good, I must admit. Living in a barn is something that I definitely needed, rather than plugging units in the wall on the 13-amp socket outlet. And it's working a treat for me. So I must couple there. He said that he probably about to disappear. Okay, so I'll put it back to you then, Jeff. Not much more to add from this end, so Mike 0 Alpha United Golf from Golf Mike 4 Kilo Zero.
Yeah, 4 Jackers. And the group M0 AG to the fine in that case. And for Bob's information, I've just been looking up the call sign of Alan from the Older Amateur Radio Club. And his call sign is 2 Echo 0 Juliet Whiskey Alpha. 2 Echo 0 Juliet Whiskey Alpha. And Alan is very, very keen, not only on filter, but filter as well. So I think it's welcome you can try and take it forward in the Northwest England through the Older Club there. Thanks for your update, Becky. Over to you there, Nick, before I go in the group, M0AUG.
M0 AUG in the group from G4IWO. Yeah, some interesting bits and pieces there. To Bob, of course, yet again, just to congratulate you on the fantastic achievement of that 908 QSOs on POTA. That's pretty impressive, isn't it? And you are quite right, of course. I mean, some of these guys are, of course, running FT8 and therefore, making a lot of QSOs. Even though conditions sometimes when I've just had these few goes at parks on the air up here have been pretty good, I still end up, Bob, having a bit of a longer rag chew, both on sideband and CW with some of the guys that I meet. It's just in my character to have a good chat. And I'm not one of those who can just sit there and send signal reports, possibly your name, and say goodbye and move on to the next one. Yeah, I can do that occasionally, but I do prefer to have a little bit more of an interaction. Probably the reason why I much prefer CW to FT8, although I'm not one of those who thinks it's appalling and so on. It's another means of using a radio to make contact with other people, and using a computer as part of that process. I don't have a problem with the principle. Just I do get a lot more satisfaction out of real-time communication. But yeah, as to a couple of other bits. First of all, Laura in Scotland contacted me to ask if I could find someone who was prepared to build one of the new Kanga rooster kits. They've produced the kits for, I think, 40, 30 and 20 meters crystal controlled transceivers as an upgrade from the old Fox 3 that they produced many years ago. And I ridiculously, of course, this is me all over, said that if no one else volunteered, I'd do it myself. So yesterday, Laura has posted me a couple of the kits that she's received. So I'll put those together. But I'll probably do a little video of opening up the bag, seeing what's in it, and description of the instructions and so on, so that people can get a flavour of how easy or difficult these kits are to build. So quite looking forward to that, if I'm honest, and hopefully Laura's pleased with the working radio. And just going back to HF communication, Jeff, for Flannan Island, part of what we're doing is going to be very critical, because the skipper of the boat has got to look at the weather conditions and the sea conditions and make a decision about the best time for him to come across to pick the guys up from Flannan Island, which day and what time. So I've got to speak to the boat skipper and then in one of our skeds with Nobby, we've got to pass that information on to them. So that's a pretty critical part of the operation. That's if they don't get either their Wi-Fi link going or the 7.30pm's link, which they've been working on with the Isle of Skye. So back to you, Jeff. Oh yeah, sorry. On Kanga kits, by the way, I mean it set up again just a few years ago. I think 3 years ago, but it had started as a little QRP company back in the about 1980 time. So they've been around quite a long time, and of course the name Kanga came from one of the founders of the kit company, Ian. A G3ROO, a long-standing GQRP club member. So of course he had to play with that and came up with Kanga as the name, and of course his call sign completed it to Kangaroo. But they were lovely kits they produced back in the early 80s, and I built some of those and had great fun with them. And I hope Laura has fun with hers, and hopefully I can talk her through having a go at one of these builds again in the future, because I'm sure she'll get a lot from that. So back to you, Jeff. M0 AUG in the group, G4IWO.
G4IWO in the group M0 AUG returning. Like, yeah, I just have noticed looking at YouTube that they call it on the Kelly or is on others this evening. Good evening, Andy, and please do be able to join us. Yeah, as far as Kanga's concerned, Nick, I've never actually built any of the kids, but I knew Dennis, who hadn't had Kanga until recently, and also at the RCP convention last year, I was actually able to make contact with the guy called Chris, who now owns the company. So it's good to see if Kanga then continues for all these years. Over to you there, Jeff. I'll still remember November Tango in the group, man.
M0 AUG, the group 08 November Tango. First of all, a very good evening, Bob, in the stage there. And congrats on your 900 plus quota contacts. That's brilliant. And also congrats on you, Jeff, for winning the draw of the Teach Factor. I always take part also, but never got anything. But anyway, congrats to you. That's brilliant. And by the way, 6 meters is vital, really vital. That's what you said, Keith. I'm looking to the screen here, and it's full of stations from all over Europe, actually, mostly European stations. But it's yeah. And I see also on my 7300 on the waterfall that there is also some activity in CW and in the single sideband. So that's very good. Okay, no, well, one of the other things I have been playing with actually this week is APRS. APRS messages sending to Mastodon. Mastodon is a social media website. Actually, I'm not registered. I'm not a member of Mastodon whatsoever. But the beauty of that is that you can see the messages on Mastodon, on the page on Mastodon. And I think there is a use case there for someone if you are doing a quota or a SOTA and you don't have cell phone coverage. You could probably send an APRS message even on HF. You can also send APRS on HF to let people know that you are okay or that you well arrived, whatever. I think your wife or your girlfriend or whatever could look to that web page. It's open to everyone. So I think it's another interesting tool which could help you to give messages to people that you care about or who care about you. So I think that's quite an interesting application. Okay, no, back to you, Jeff. Mike 0 AUG, the group of 8 November Tango.
Tango in the group M0 AUG. Yes, fine on, Jeff. And all these things that we find interesting are growing by the minute, aren't they? Like yourself, I've usually gone into the draw for the TX Factor with nothing so far. But it wasn't the latest one that I went in to. It was the TX Factor 30 edition. And I just put a call sign in and sent off the email as I normally do, and that was that. Surprise, surprise. And it was good because the books are being donated by the RSGB, and as soon as the year was announced, Mark, who's the commercial manager of the RSGB, who's a long-time friend of mine, just sent me an email and said, "Look, Jeff, these are 3 books that we decided to put forward for the competition. But if you want to change the selection, then there's absolutely no problem at all." And obviously the antenna notebook was part of the original connection, so I didn't change that one. So I'm looking forward to the talk next week. But that was good. I don't really win anything at all in these sort of things, but you've got to give it a go. You've got what's the saying goes? You've got to be in it to win it. So there we are. Over to you there, Andrew. M0RL in the group, M0AUG.
M0AUG in the group, M0RL. Yeah, first of all, Bob, congratulations. Reiterate what Jeff said. 900 is a good score, even though you're only 3,000 in the list. I didn't know where I would be with my, I think 3 or 4. They don't even count that as being on the list at all. So well done on that one. I guess poker in the States is a lot more popular than it is in the UK. But thankfully in the UK it's beginning to get popular up into the realms of the poker as well. So we do stand a chance on that one. And yeah, Keith, yes, the Met system, I use a unified system, which is quite good. The only problem is that my wife insisted on having a landline. There was obviously with full fibre, it had to be a DV line going through the internet. And the only way that will work is if I go through the BT home hub that came. So I'm double nattered because I'm not going to get rid of my Nest routers and unify security system. So yeah, thankfully I don't play games, so it doesn't make much of a difference. But yeah, there's lots of wires and lots of kit and this. But at least it's working now, and 500 megabytes is probably noticed the difference quality. So I don't play games and I don't download a lot. We don't stream much at all. But that seems to be cheaper going for that than a lower package, which seems a little bit daft. But anyway, it is working, and thankfully, as Jeff has confirmed, the open spot seems to be working quite well through the system. So fingers crossed for next week. So it's back to you, Jeff. M0AUG in the group. M0RL.
0RL in the group, M0AUG turning. Yeah, fair enough, Andrew. And I know that you'll be speaking to Dave in the next couple of days or so, and I hope you got the power outages sorted out. He sounded a bit concerned when he was on the email earlier on, because he was working on the battery on his phone. So I've no doubt you'll sort him out, which is easy to do. So thanks for that, Andrew. Oh, it's you there, Bob, November 4 X-Ray Alpha Tango. I've been looking at 1 or 2 of the videos on the battleship there, Bob. It's interesting how it got back into the harbour again. But I wonder if it's operating yet, or is that something to come? November 4 X-Ray Alpha Tango in the group. M0AUG.
0 Alpha, yeah, Mike 0 Uniform Alpha Golf, November 4 X-Ray Alpha Tango. We are back on the battleship. After they got back, I think that I had mentioned before, they knew that they had problems with the electrical when they disconnected. A lot of the insulation went, so they had to replace those wires. However, when they got back, they didn't realize that they were having plumbing problems. And it took them quite a bit to get the hotel facilities working. In other words, to get all the toilets working, the urinals, the fountains, etc. They got them working, and they started letting people come aboard. However, their air conditioner wasn't working. the first week that we were on it, we've been on it 2 Saturdays now. We've been allowed on. The first Saturday, it was probably 100 degrees Fahrenheit in the shack. They got the air conditioning working last Wednesday. They claim it takes about 2 days to air condition the whole ship. Well, I think it takes longer than 2 days because last Saturday it was well into the 80s in the radio room. That's getting there, and we do expect to be along again this weekend. On POTA, you can, Andrew, I think it was you that mentioned that you're not sure where you stand. You can actually go on the POTA site, and there's a place where you can put in your call sign and get an idea of any awards that you have. And there's also a spot on there where you can actually go to the listing of everyone. And it doesn't matter whether you're at the top of the list or whether you're 50,000 on the list. You'll appear on that list somewhere, providing that you either have Hunter Awards or that you've activated a site. I was looking at Alan's site. Alan, it looks like Alan got at least the silver Hunter, and Hunter Awards is where operator works another operator, or a park from a park, or even from home works an operator in a park. And he has the silver, which I believe is the second award, and then he has the Support Your Parks Activator Award, and he has a Support Your Parks Hunter Award. What I can't get over with Alan is the number of call signs that he has listed. Starts out with 2W0JWA, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. If I count it right, there are 17 different call signs that he has listed that he uses: mobile, portable, etc., etc. The last park that he worked was on the 11th of July, and that was Lake District National Park. Before that, on the 30th of June, he worked Peak District National Park, and you could go down the list, but that's all there. He has a list of 100 QSOs, and the last 100 QSO he got was on the 15th, just a couple of days ago. And the last one that he shows listing is MM7MWZ from Park I-95, Snowdonia National Park. So the whole lists are on there. So anyone interested that does do parks, if you go onto your own site, or you can look up anybody that else does POTA and see what they've done. With that, back to you, Jeff. M0AUG, November 4, X-Ray Alpha Tango.
November 4, X-Ray Alpha Tango in the group, M0AUG returning. Yes, fine on that, Bob. And Alan, he's good for the club. He really is. And we've got the AGM of the Oldham Radio Club coming up in August, and I do have to admit that I actually put the nomination forward for Alan to join the committee of the club, because he's got a sort of inspiration and the youthful showing there to help the club forward. And along with a couple of other people who are relatively new to the hobby, been members of the Oldham Club for 12 to 18 months, and we're hoping that that's going to do a refresh for the committee to take the club forward into the future. And obviously, Alan's activities on POTA and POTA helping everyone else. And on the Oldham Club, have a WhatsApp group as well. It's just a thing to see where Alan gets to. When he went on to benign 001, I think it was, which was in the show many years ago, Alan had to be rescued by the mountain rescue team after a fall there, and he broke his leg. And just recently, he was able to go up there and reactivate that one as far as he was concerned, which was obviously, breaking one of his demons. And I was delighted that he managed to do that. So this is the history on that call time there. And thanks for taking the trouble, Bob, to look it up. Well, for the few of us on this evening, I think it's probably time for it to go around to final event. Thank you, everybody, for supporting this evening. And I hope you can get Dave on again next week, Andrew. And I look forward to catching up with you all again. So back to the top of the list, DM4JKZ in the group, your final M0AEG.
M0 AUG with a group GM4JKZ for my finals. Okay there, Jeff. Yeah, interesting this evening, I must admit. I think once the good weather comes around here, I'm going to take something out up onto the old Roman road we've got up on the top of the hill behind us. See what we can do, I must admit. It'll be interesting to see if I can run 2 meters there as well, which is a bit easy for me at the moment. Regarding the bands, believe it or not, 6 meters is huge now. 10 meters is almost full scale, and the other bands are there's a dodo according to the grid tracker chart. So they're very interesting. 6 meters. I tried calling Greece, but unfortunately didn't quite make it. But there we go. And Andrew, yeah, Unify system, I think they're brilliant. What I like particularly is being able to go onto your account and then pull down the information of who the heaviest user is, what time of day, and receive all the charts. I did get myself one of the little portable cloud units to plug into the unit here, but haven't connected it yet. I'm enjoying the online. The problem I had was that port 8080 was being blocked by another program I was running, but I've now sussed out how to clear that to enable me to look at the inside count online. So just bear that one in mind. Port 8080 needs to be clear. And with that, I'll say good evening to you all, one and all, and our listeners on YouTube. And put it back to you there, Jeff. And Jeff Owen8NT, I've got another picture for you at the end. Mike 0 Alpha Uniform Golf from Golf Mike 4 Kilo Zulu in the Scottish border.
GM4JKZ in the Scottish border, 7.30 returning. Yeah, good to have you on this evening, Keith, and that football is well with you up there. And I'm going to use the net controls prerogative here, and I'm going to skip over Nick and take the other 3 contestants first. And Nick can wrap up as he usually likes to do there. So over to you, Jeff, for your finals, please. Oscar November 8 November Tango in the group. M0 AUG.
M0 AUG, the group 08 November Tango. Yeah, all fine copy. And you are absolutely right, Keith. 6 meters is hot. I saw a Oscar X-ray passing by Greenland, an Oscar Yankee Faroe Islands, and then some other goodies, and some Scottish dates, but they are gone now. It's a little bit up and down, but anyway, seems to be some good conditions even that late in the evening. It's 9:30 here, so that's quite exceptional. I would say thank you very much, Jeff, for organizing this and for sharing the net. All the very best to everyone, and hope to catch you again next Wednesday, which is another interesting meeting, I think, which I'm really looking forward. And we will probably meet also on Thursday for this digital net. And all the best to anyone on YouTube, to Rachel and Andy and all the other ones who are listening in there. All the very best, and hope to catch you all again. Mike 0 AUG Group 08 November Tango.
November Tango in the group M0 AUG returning. Yes, and thanks for that, Jeff. And we look forward to catching up with you next week on the meeting, and look forward to the talk on the antenna notebook there. A couple of days I want to bounce off you, Jeff, where I could do with attending other meetings, particularly I think it's at the Oldham Radio Club. The Oldham Radio Club have their annual general meeting on the 15th of August. And if you could just make a note of that and let me know whether you might be able to be available on that particular day, that'd be grateful to. Because I shall actually go down and be at that meeting because it's the AGM, and to be involved in helping to choose the new committee down there. So if you can, that'll be great. Otherwise, I'll ask Andrew if he can accept it. thanks for your contribution this evening, Jeff, and thanks once again, much appreciated for last week as well. So, 7.3 to you. Over to you for your finals, Andrew. M0, well in the group. M0IUG.
M0AUG in the group. M0. All right. Well, thanks for running the net tonight, Jeff. On that one, I'll speak to Dave either tomorrow or the weekend and just getting up to speed. I don't know why they're having power cuts in Portland, whether there's some electrical breakdowns in the transformers or what, I don't know, but we are one out of it over a nine head, so not a problem on that one. So I'll pass everyone's regards over to Dave. You can always catch up on YouTube, which is what I'll do. I didn't have the opportunity to log on last night for the I'll pick that up on YouTube now it's up there and have a listen tonight. So in the meantime, I wish everyone a good week. Hopefully, Jeff, in Belgium, the temperature's not going to get too unbearable. We've got a warmish day tomorrow. Not as hot as it was today. I think we've got rain coming in on Saturday. So yeah, it's beginning to break here on that one. So in the meantime, everyone have a good week and enjoy the radio. And I'll catch up with you next Thursday. So 73, and I'm back to you, Jeff. M0AUG in the group. M0ROL.
M0RO in the group, M0AUG, Tony. Yeah, thanks for attending the group again this evening, Andrew. And it's a good little group of friends that we've got here, and long may it continue. And I do thank everybody for their support on the D-Star network. And I know David Norman with us with physical problems with power. I can understand why he's not with there. So then we'll go down the list for the next one. Look forward to catching up with you next week, Andrew. For your final, please, Bob, November 4, X-Ray Alpha Tango in the group, M0AEG.
M0AUG in the group, November 4, X-Ray Alpha Tango. First of all, glad that I made it this evening. Last night I certainly enjoyed the presentation. If I ever get back to Amberley has one of the nicest displays of everything. It doesn't matter, like my father was a the typesetter. And they have a typesetting section there. Their radio section is beautiful. Everything they have there is great. But you know, I haven't been in their library. Last night, after David gave his talk, I'm going to have to go back to Amberley and visit the library there. I also, of course, look forward to next week's presentation on Wednesday and hope to be aboard here on Thursday. I may be late again as Bill M7CLG. I promised him that I'd give him another CW test next Thursday. He was running late today. He's changed employers. His other employer went out of business apparently, and he's changed employers and got off a bit late today. So I'm hoping he gets off a bit earlier next week, where I can give him the testing and get that out of the way before this net starts. Otherwise, I may join it a bit late. But I'm so happy to be able to join it. And thank you, Jeff, for running it. And I hope to see you. M0AUG and the group. 73 the ball, and have a good one. 73.
November 4, X-Ray Alpha Tango in the group, Mike 0 Alpha Uniform Golf returning there. Thanks, Bob, and always appreciated that you came able to join the group, and we fully understand if you got other commitments that helped. And we're still glad to have you back in the group after, obviously, when you had to spend some time away there for family reasons. No problem at all there, Bob. You're a great part of this group, and long may it continue. And do carry on for the next one. The next day, after 900, there's got to be 1,000, I think, there for you, Bob. Well, thanks for coming on this evening, and I look forward to catching up with you either at the beginning or during sometime next week. So 7.3 to you. Over to you for your final, please, Nick, and to wrap up this evening's proceedings. T4IW in the group, M0AUG.
M0AUG in the group from G4IWO. Yeah, thank you, everybody. It's been an interesting evening, as always. And Bob, you'll have to tell me how you get on with that Polo app, the Ham2K Polo app, if you use that when you make your next POTA activation. As to the difference in the numbers of people involved in POTA in the UK compared to the US, I think our numbers are very low indeed. One of the places I've activated just in the few times I've been out is the Pennine Way. Now, this is one of our national trails. It's actually 268 miles long. So there'll be masses of opportunities to activate the trail somewhere along that 268 miles of it. In fact, there have only been 7 activations made of the entire Pennine Way, 4 of those by me, and 1 of those by our club member Ken, G4VZV, when he came up and operated next to the Pennine Way when we were climbing up the Black Hill on June the 8th. So there have been 7 activations, 5 of them made by members of Denby Dale Radio Club. There have been 181 QSOs in total from those 7 activations, and 149 of them were made by myself and Ken. So we can truly say here in our club here that we are pushing the boundaries of activations and contacts on what is an enormous trail. So I think there's a lot more scope in England and Wales and Scotland and Northern Ireland for people to pick up Parks on the Air and get the enjoyment out of it that Bob has found, and the enjoyment that Ken and I have found from it as well. So I thought when you dive down into the figures, I found that very interesting. And Jeff, of course, you know Hollingworth Lake because it's a major Manchester feature. It's a big man-made lake in the Victorian area that was constructed to provide water to the Rochdale Canal. And that was added to the list of parks. And in fact, there's only ever been 1 successful activation of that, and that was undertaken by me just a few weeks ago. So we've got to go somewhat really before there's a lot more interest in Parks on the Air in this country. And before I forget, a hello to Andy, who's on the YouTube channel chatting to Rachel in the chat there. Andy, 2 Echo 0 Romeo Echo Echo, good to hear you. And Andy makes the point that Russia was open on 6 meters at 7 o'clock to Russia at 7 o'clock this morning. He also said that Parks on the Air is great fun. So glad you enjoy it as well, Andy. Yeah, as you say, Jeff, our speaker next week, which will be the last one for this month, is Lorna, 2 Echo 0 Papa Charlie India, PEO 2E0 PCI, and she is the editor of the latest version of the Antenna Notebook, which is a new version that was done originally by Giles Reed, G1 MFG many years ago. I think Rachel's done. I think Lorna has done a fantastic job of the new notebook, and it is really worthwhile. And I'm very pleased, Jeff, that you won that in the TX Factor competition there. So on that, I'm going to wish everybody who's in the net tonight here on the net a very pleasant evening, and also a pleasant evening to those who've been following us on YouTube tonight, and also 73s, and wish you well to all those who catch up with the recording of this that we leave on YouTube during the week. So back to you, Jeff. M0 AUG in the group, G4IWO.
G4IWO in the group M0AG. Yeah, thanks for the wrap up there, Nick, and it'll be good to catch up with the presentation from Lorna next week. And I can't remember things though. The fact I actually managed to not only win Lorna's book, but also two others courtesy of the Irish TV. That's good for me. There we go. I look forward to reading. I've not even opened them. We've been away for a few days. I picked them up and returned them out of the box, and they're on the shelf in front of me. And when I get a few minutes from whatever else is going on, I'll certainly enjoy them. But in the meantime, if I don't get to it next week, I'll enjoy the Lorna talk. So thanks everybody for joining the net this evening, and also to Andy and Rachel for putting it on the YouTube channel there, and also to everybody else who joined it at a later date. And we look forward to catching you with the next Thursday evening for the Denby Dale Amateur Radio Society Digital Net at 19:30. 19:30 p.m. clock time, not UTC. It's 18:30 clock time. 18:30 UTC, 19:30 clock time, next Thursday evening. So thanks for your support this evening, and we'll look forward to speaking to you next week. AUG, and often clear, lovely to everybody who's standing by for one or more pictures to come through.
U4IW, stand by after the photos.
Roger, Roger.
Send it again, Jeff. Send it again. Fill in the blank. There's still a few blanks, but it looks pretty good. I can see most of it here, Jeff. Good job. One of these days, I'm going to have to get some more photos and send them. 08NT and 4XAT.